coming from Latvia, and when I was studying already my bachelor degree on a second year, I think it was, I went to Germany. HAVK school was called, and studied with Professor Georg Dobler. And there I decided that I want to study contemporary jewelry somewhere on the west side of the world. I applied for Sweden and ended up here. And then I also did exchange in Japan, in Tokyo, in Hiko Mizuno College of Jewelry, and studied there for 3 months. For me, it's very important to remember how classical jewelry is working, and for example, if the surface has to be polished, it has to be polished well without scratches or like mirror surface, as close to it as possible. But at the same time, I think it's interesting to be innovative, and that's where I have fun, basically, to create something new, something that I haven't seen anywhere, something that I will have fun to play with. So that's where, I guess, in a strange look of stones that are not stones comes from. I use different kind of materials in my work. It's hot melt adhesive, which is basically like a glue gun that is very widely used in DIYs, and then it's mixed together with all kind of stones like crushed marble or crushed amber or magma sand and so on. And basically this what makes the main body of the jewelry, but then I like to put it together with precious materials like 14 karat gold that usually is celebrating some precious stones like diamond, like usually gold set on, like setting some sapphire or something, for example. But in this case, I celebrate exactly the concept, because there is no understandable in common sense, there is no same value in the glue as in the precious stones. A lot of my inspiration comes from childhood, in a way. Like, for example, when I was a child, I often imagined myself being tiny as Thumbelisa from Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. Thumbelina in English, and I thought that her world is so much more interesting and full of adventures than ours, that even now, like, I sometimes look at my work and wonder, why am I making my work so active on the surface when I'm like a person more of a minimalist? And I think it's maybe because if I, for some magical reason, would become small and drop onto one of my jewelry pieces, I would see like a marvelous landscape. I have changed. I thought that if I manipulate a little bit materials that I use for example, at first it was crushed marble, then I have used crushed amber, and amber in itself has a lot of information in a way in itself. So what does it mean? For me it means something connected with Eastern Europe or Soviet Union, and through crushing it, for example, I kind of destroy associations of this stone that we get used to see super polished, set in silver. Then by crushing it and using it in my way, I kind of put it in a different setting and hopefully bring some new life to it. At the Göteborg Konstmuseum, I hope to show most of my works that I have made throughout the years, and hopefully some new works that I have started working on now. And that will be a Frozen Moment series. The space where you exhibit work make a big difference, and it tells or help to tell a story. I think it's really fun to use the whole space, and yeah, I think it helps to tell a story. Like it's hibernating and maybe waiting for its rise, just like photography at some point was, or art of filming. I hope so, because as far as I understand, there's no such high demand for conceptual jewelry as it is for paintings. You cannot sell it for the same prices. You cannot, even though artists spend same amount of time, for example. In the art auctions, it's also not showing up as much, unfortunately. But it definitely has its space there, and probably jewelry field needs some very big. Some very big kick in a way, maybe a movie, Hollywood movie about a jewelry artist or something of a sorts.